I can't say much about her. Her message will definitely speak for itself. But I can say this. As you hear her story, always keep in the back of your mind the term that you've heard here before, and that is a part of your district's logo, the whole child. We're going to get a clear lesson on what that really means. Please welcome graduating senior of the class of 2014 from Weslaco High School, Irene Infante.
And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids, they seem to fit in. I wish that I could be like the cool kids, like the cool kids.
Hi everyone, my name is Irene Infante. I purposely asked our host and MC to limit the accolades in my introduction because I want to stand here and represent two different people. You see only one person standing up here today, but I really am two different people, and I'd like to find out which one you can see more clearly. I am a teen mom. I have a son named Simon Jude, and he's 4 years old. I am a scholar. I am one of 2 Gates Millennium Scholarship recipients here in Weslaco this year. Thank you. Well, that applause tells me one thing. You're more impressed with my scholarship award than you are my parenting skills. I want to take you back to my 8th grade year because how you feel about me now is very different from what you thought about me then, and I think there are some important lessons to learn from where I stand today. I got pregnant in 8th grade, and literally just saying that makes me cringe. You can't imagine what I went through back then, or maybe you can if you've experienced a situation like mine. I was a child myself, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I was some ignorant girl who didn't know what to do with herself. I'm mature, right? Of course I am. Well, besides my amazing support group at home, it was the teachers at Weslaco WISD that really had an impact on me in my journey throughout high school and ultimately the preparation I had for college. I hope that my experiences as a teen mom can evoke an idea as to how many of the students at Weslaco WISD go through life. Life itself is difficult to get through without academic obligations and the pressure to fit in, because I'm sure even teachers struggle to fit in. You and I are very different, but we can feel the same things. I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, an AP teacher, a regular teacher, an honor student, a skipper, superintendent, a counselor. Within each of us, there is human potential, like potential energy, waiting to be triggered so one can unleash the uniqueness within them. And whenever this occurs, we, as the students of your learning institutions, want to look at you for guidance on how to handle certain situations without being judged on how we may handle them ourselves. Behind me on the screen is my son, Simon Jude. Mostly likes to be called Jude. Today's is actually his first day of school at San Martin de Porres. Yeah. I know this is super off topic, but, well, if I do say so myself, my greatest accomplishment in life was not getting the scholarship award or being in the top 10 of the senior class. As crazy as it sounds, it was potty training Jude. Yeah, it's really off topic, I know, but it's hard to teach a child one of the basic concepts of life, and I'm proud to say that I did it all by myself, of course, with the help of others, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I mean, right? It takes pure dedication and one-on-one learning with your son or daughter. Although, honestly, Jude deserves most of the credit because all I did was guide him to his own success. I guess in a way I was a teacher like you. Well, I had been in the position of the student my whole life that I could now see the ideology of the student and what they do to get to where they want to be. And during this potty training process, I watched Jude struggle to please me, to get things right. And clearly I could relate. When I was pregnant, I tried so hard to get teachers to like me with my grades, without them having to take into consideration my unfortunate situation and label me as some kind of troubled youth. I guess it allowed them to look past my potential and judge my choices as a young girl. You know, I was a good student. It sucks that some people couldn't see one part of me because of another part of me. You know, in the classroom, we want to impress you guys. We just want to please you and be the best as possible. We are at school more than we are at home. We see you more than we see our own parents, so it's only natural that we want to confide in you on certain things. In other words, when you shut us down, hurt us, reject us, it's like our own parents are doing it to us. Understand that students have feelings. Sometimes we'll show up to class and we'll sit through the whole lecture, but really the whole time we're there, something has been on our mind worrying us. Imagine following one of your students after school. What do they go home to? Do they have a home at all? Each one of them is an individual with their own story. Sometimes school is the only place they feel safe. If they're like me, school's the last place you want to be. But one thing is for sure, right? School will always be there. And you as teachers should always be there for all your students in all your classes, looking beyond what you see on the outside and looking deeper into their purpose in life, which is to learn, to live, and to succeed. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything because I hate that, okay? At this point, I loathed going to school because I was afraid of walking into a classroom and feeling unwanted, embarrassed, and harassed by people around me. And that summer after Jude was born, I had the opportunity to make things different, change the way my life was going. So as if entering our freshman year isn't hard enough, we were all pale, pimple-faced, goofy-looking, and uncoordinated. But that first day of school, when I walked into class after my second period, or when I walked into my second period class after band practice, my hopes and dreams for fitting in were all but crushed. Bullying nowadays has different meanings and variations, and maybe my experiences were more just like kids being mean. But I heard the sneers from the back of the class, and I felt the stares and the sideways looks when I walked the halls, and most of what I felt that was hurtful was the silence when people said nothing at all. I learned at an early age what it felt like to be abandoned by some of my closest friends. Well, as time went on, I was able to manage high school a lot easier, but I never liked a teacher starting a conversation with, "Oh, so you have a baby?" It was basically them implying that I had been the subject of some gossip and it was going to be harder for me to fit in. Really, all I ever wanted in high school was to fit in. That's just me. And having a baby didn't allow me to do that. I will say, though, that it allowed me to be more confident and prideful in the things that I did because I explored different areas of activity that I thought I would enjoy. So I ended up joining a lot of clubs. And so much dedication goes into extracurricular activities, and I was lucky enough to manage all that while raising Jude at home. There were so many sleepless nights, and I know there are more kids like me. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but to me, assignments are more valuable than sleep. So the process, mostly during my sophomore and junior years, were to go home after school and finish all the homework that I have, taking care of Jude, of course, go to sleep at around 3 or 4 in the morning, and then wake up again at 5 to get ready for band practice, and then just repeat the day over and over and over, and that's just how it goes for kids who are really serious about school and they really care about school. What I do appreciate, though, are the teachers that didn't take any pity on me. And oddly enough, it was the teachers that didn't know or they didn't care that I was a mom. They had their expectations, and regardless of whether or not Jude was up all night with an ear infection or a fever, because that did happen, they treated me no different than any other student. Teachers like my AP English language / academic decathlon coach / masterminds coach, Mr. Gonzalez, and his amazing wife, Miss Gonzalez, who was also my AP US history teacher. There was my AP English Lit and UIL Ready writing coach, Miss Fuentes. They were so loyal and honest, and I truly gained so much from their classes. There was my computer science teacher, Mr. Medrano, who's one of the best teachers at Westlake High. my Spanish teacher for 2 years, Mr. Garcia, who understood my desire to succeed as a student. And there was Miss Overton, who gave me so much knowledge and so much respect, even though I was always tired in her class. I have great and wonderful stories and experiences with all of you teachers. But what set them apart is how they allowed me to simply fit in. They expected the same from me and from all their students, and it made me feel like a normal kid. They saw all their students with equal potential, regardless of where we came from, regardless of any mistakes we made. We were all capable of academic success and the ability to channel it to greater things in life. We could all achieve equally. We all had equal potential, and they knew how to draw success from even this teen mom. I had to work harder than most students my age, but it didn't keep me from benefiting from a fulfilling high school experience. As you can see on the list behind me, I was in many student organizations. Now, I will be attending the University of Texas at Austin in the fall. Thank you. I will be majoring in philosophy as my pre-law major. I am happy to acknowledge myself as a Gates Millennium Scholar because out of over 52,000 applicants, I was one of 1,000 chosen. Out of those, only 300 are Hispanic, and 20 this year from the Valley, and I'm one of 2 from Weslaco. Now it's time to leave Weslaco. I'll be leaving on Sunday. Jude will be staying with his grandparents here in Weslaco, but I can assure you that all the memories that I have with each and every one of you will not be forgotten. So, if there are 1 or 2 messages that I could leave you with, it would be this. You all are among the first group of people that we look up to. From day 1 in Stephen F. Austin, I can guarantee you that we're already looking up to you for nurturing and comfort and advice, you know. While I do admit that during my pregnancy I was fragile and there were a few misguided options that teachers directed me towards, I used it to give me purpose and a meaning to prove the stereotype wrong. But what you think of us students, the impression you have of us and how you see us, really does in many ways help us decide how we see ourselves. Our confidence level, the pride in the things we do largely comes from each of you and our desire to impress you and seek your approval. But today I'm grateful to both groups, those that may have doubted me and those that inspired me. I don't think I would have had the same results happen if either of you would have been absent. I wanted to end this with one of my favorite quotes from the popular poem, The Road Not Taken. This was also my senior quote, just an FYI. At the end of the poem, Robert Frost, he says, "2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." I guess this represents who I am in a way. Being a teen parent isn't exactly the road people are begging to go down, but I took on the responsibility, and it led me here today because really if I hadn't been in my situation, I wouldn't have tried so hard in school. I'm not bitter anymore. At the time, I guess I didn't need your sympathy. I just needed you to give me a chance. And I'm glad that I was able to learn from those of you who did. Thank you for the opportunity. Truly, our decisions offer us different paths, and they led us here today. Whatever the choice may be for you, I hope it makes a difference in someone's life, whether it be a spouse, a son, a daughter, a student. Make a difference. It is our future you're shaping. So tell me again, who do you see standing up here today? Do you see a teen mom with limited potential? Or do you see a Gates Scholar with unparalleled potential? In a few days, a new group of students will walk into your classes, and for all practical purposes, you will define them based on your first impression. Please don't make them work harder to impress you. Give them first the benefit of your doubt. Teach them as if they were your GATE scholars and top 10 students. We are all deserving of your very best. Thank you.
And she says, I wish that I